Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Eberly Field in Clarinda. Beautiful night for what should be a fun Hawkeye 10 Conference baseball battle on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Tate and Amy with you here tonight. It's Red Oak, it's Clarinda going at it. Tate and Amy, these two teams, the first time they played a fun one. These are also two teams that have, when they've been on this year, have won some nice games. They've looked well. They've also maybe had some games they'd like to have back. Overall, just a very interesting matchup as we get into the last couple weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, Dawson Bond pitched a phenomenal game against Clarinda the first game. We're getting to see him again on the mound. It's going to be interesting to see how Clarinda comes back. I mean, they only scored one run in their first matchup. It's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from that game.
You mentioned Dawson Bond has been the ace for Red Oak this year. You look at his numbers. 28 innings, a ERA of just 1. He struck out 44. Opponents are hitting 140 against him. He's only walked 11, only hit 1. Struck out 10 in that win earlier this year. Always kind of an interesting thing when it comes to second time around against an opponent, right? And definitely when there's a very good chance these two could see each other again in the postseason. This is a big game. We don't know what the postseason picture is going to look like in terms of how they're going to seed it and if this game is going to mean anything. So if you're Red Oak, this is probably a game you want, but also at the same time, throwing Dawson Bond a second time against this Clarinda lineup, we'll see if there's anything that the Cardinals were able to learn and take away from that first matchup.
Another big thing is Karsten Beckel being on the mound for Clarinda. I mean, I don't think Red Oaks, he's a new pitcher this year. He just came off a game in Shan where he had 15 strikeouts. I mean, he's hot right now. It's going to be interesting to see how they can hit against him.
So Clarinda 11-6 on the year under head coach Rod Eberly. Red Oak 11-10 under coach Mark Erickson. I mentioned these are two teams that will likely be in the same district in Class 2A. We should get those pairings sometime tomorrow or Thursday. And I would imagine Clarinda and Red Oak both like their chances as we head into the postseason. Don't know what their path's going to look like yet, but two teams to keep an eye on as we get into the tournament trail. Anthem coming up. We'll step aside. It's Clarinda Red Oak Baseball coming up shortly on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com. Welcome back to Clarinda here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Tate and Amy with you tonight. Red Oak Clarinda getting ready to go at it. Let's set the Red Oak offense for you. Leading off, Chase Roeder, then it's Landon Kaus, Dawson Bond at the top of the order. A.J. Schmidt, Braden Woods, Adam Beyer, Brody Bond, Cale Hall, Brett Erickson, the rest of the lineup. We'll run through the Clarinda defense for you here in a moment. Karsten Beckel getting the call on the mound, as Tate alluded to. Last week, they played Shenandoah. He had a really, really good game, striking out 15. Just a sophomore, he's thrown 17 innings, 25 strikeouts, a 1.24 ERA. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do tonight against this Red Oak offense, Tatum.
Yeah, one thing against Shenandoah that he did really well, his strike-to-ball ratio was amazing. I mean, I could probably count on my hands and toes how many balls he threw that game. It just felt like it was strike after strike after strike. He was ending these Shenandoah players, sending them back to the dugout in a short count.
So he'll get the call tonight on the bump. Meanwhile, catching for them will be Ryan Wagner. At first is Andrew Jones. Levi Wise is at second. James McCall will play third. Tayden Brown is at shortstop. Your outfield going left to right will look like this as Justice Fine will be in left. Caden Butt will be in center. And Ronnie Weidman will be in right field. Should be a fun one here tonight. Again, Red Oak, Clarinda getting ready to go out. These two played a 3-1 doozy back in late May. In Red Oak, it was Red Oak escaping with the win. They're coming off of a couple of tough losses last night to a Harlan team, but starting to play some good ball. Of course, Clarinda had to play the cream of the crop in the Hawkeye 10 last night in Lewis Central. I mean, to their credit, they were in that last one down the stretch, but ended up losing both contests. Or in the first one, I should say, that doubleheader, but losing both contests. But both teams looking to bounce back here tonight. So the first batter will be Chase Roeder as he steps up to the plate for the Tigers, donning the black jerseys with the orange numbers and the the white pinstripes. I think these might be new road jerseys for the Tigers this year.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them before. They look new to me anyway.
Look pretty snazzy as well, as here is Chase Roeder, the right-handed batter, up to the plate for the Tigers. Takes the first pitch inside part of the zone for a strike, and it's an 0-1 count on Roeder. Roeder, the righty, facing Beckel, the righty. The 0-1 pitch is bunt laid down along the third baseline. McCall charging it. Throw is there to Jones, and there's one gone. So interesting attack by Roeder. Takes the first pitch kind of in for a strike, and then it's what you call bunting for a hit. Obviously, you're not bunting to move runners in that situation because it's a leadoff batter, but Roeder obviously liked his speed and the chances of laying it down, but a good play by McCall puts one away. Here's Landon Kaus up to the plate. He will take his talents to collegiate level next year. And first pitch swinging for the lefty. Kaus brings it to an 0-1 count.
Yeah, Karsten Beckel already, getting after it. Already 3 strikes so far in this game. Not a ball yet.
And there is a ball outside. Not a bad one on a 1-1 count. You're fine with, you're not going to throw every pitch for a strike, right? You're fine with putting some of them out. You'd rather miss out than miss in. No,
definitely. You're definitely not going to get every single one in the zone, but the thing about Karsten Beckel is he's able to get him close and get him swinging outside, inside, everywhere.
A 2-hopper to second. Wise throws to first baseman Jones, and there is 2 gone in this inning. So far, a quick inning of work up to this point for Karsten Beckel. And Dawson Bond up to the plate. Bond, a standout multi-sport athlete for the Tigers, state champion in wrestling. He was the KMA-Land A1, A2, Defensive Player of the Year. He's hitting 5 in football, by the way. He's hitting 500 on the season, 21 RBI to his name, 5 extra base hits, and he pummels that one into right center. Weidman in pursuit underneath it, and a 1-2-3 inning for Karsten Beckel. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless on the KMA video stream.
Asria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Asria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Asria Health, Clarinda. Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
Out of the first we go in Clarinda. Let's set the Clarinda offense for you. It'll be Tayden Brown, Levi Wise, Cole Baumgart up to the plate. Anybody else gets on, Justice Fine will join the fun. The rest of that Clarinda lineup, Andrew Jones, James McCall, Caden Butt, Ronnie Weidman, and Ryan Wagner. Defensively for Red Oak, Dawson Bond on the mound. We told you about his numbers earlier on. Also catching for him will be Braden Woods. At first base tonight, looks to be Adam Beyer. At second base, it'll be Chase Roeder. A.J. Schmidt is at third. Your shortstop is Brett Erickson. Left fielder is Cale Hall, and then at center, it's Landon Kaus. And in right, it'll be Brody Bond. for the Tigers. And no score after half an inning is Karsten Beckel. Good job that last inning, putting the ball in play, trusting his defense. They go 5-3, 4-3, F9 to end that frame, send Red Oak down in order. So Dawson Bond up for Red Oak, the right-handed hurler. As we mentioned earlier, had a really good game.
In his last game against Clarinda, where he only allowed the one run, one thing that I know is Cole Baumgart was not playing that game. So that I don't know if that's could
I think Justice Fine out too. Yep.
Justice Fine was also not playing, so that could be a difference maker. Or
a little bit of a different Clarinda look as opposed to what we saw from them earlier in the year. Here's Taden Brown up to the plate.
Yeah, Coach Eberle changing the lineup up quite a bit. I mean, Creighton Tuzio saw the field every single game, and now he's not starting today, so a little different look.
First pitch to Brown is taken for a ball. Brown, a very savvy veteran by this point. He's been a multi-year contributor, of course, standout athlete in a lot of sports, state qualifying track. Really good running back in football. Here's the 1-0, kind of jammed one up, line drive into the glove. A Buyer at first, and there's one gone in this inning. So one away is Levi Wise will come up to the plate.
Levi Wise has been a kind of a sneaky player this year. I mean, he's kind of been like low on the radar, but he's been on base almost every single time he's at bat. It's really impressive.
304 to 377 on base percentage. You'll take that. Definitely when you're in that two spot where you're sandwiched between Brown, who again, his goal, he's not a power hitter, but his goal is to get on base, and then you've got Baumgart, who's just such a good contact hitter. That one again jammed up. Wise fouls it back out of play, and the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. 365 in the corners, 340 and 335 in the straight corners. Left is 340, right is 335, as that one plunks Wise, and he'll get on with a hit by pitch to put a one-out runner on for Clarinda. So it's 340 to left, 335 to right. If you're trying to hit towards left center, it's 365. Same deal to right center. And if you pummel one to deep center, it's 395 with a tall fence as well. So to get one over the right field fence, you'd really have to tattoo one. Over the center field fence, I should say.
I will say, though, this long field, it has no effect on Cole Baumgart. His first game back against Missouri Valley went over at this field, and that was, his second at-bat coming back with the injury. Puts one over the left field wall, so he's got some power.
Baumgart hitting 471, 15 RBIs, played in 12 games this season. Suffered a shoulder injury during basketball season that kept him out of basketball for the majority of the year. Still not clear to play in the infield, but the DH spot tonight for the pitcher, Beckel. He lines one to short. Erickson can't get it, and the throw to second was late, and then it wasn't covered by Roeder at second. That will move Wise to third. So put Wise to third, give Baumgart first base, and it's runners on the corners for Clarinda with one guy here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, if you're Red Oak, you really don't want to let up any error like that with how closely matched these two teams are. This is probably going to be a pretty close game, and every single advance to the next base is a huge advantage for the other team.
So now up to the plate, Justice Fine, the cleanup hitter for Clarinda. First pitch, outer part of the zone, called strike. And it's an 0-1 count. So 0-1, runners on the corners. That one gets away from Woods. They will send Wise, and he'll trot in safely. Baumgart ends up at second. Clarinda on the board first after some fielding miscues and defensive miscues by Red Oak in the early stages of this game. So Clarinda's already matched their run total from the first time around when they played Red Oak. And it's a 1-1 count to Justice Fine. Bond takes a look at the runner, steps off the rubber, and he'll try to regroup. He steps back on the rubber. Still a 1-1 count to Fine with a runner at second. The 1-1 pitch, outside part of the zone, called strike, says Mr. Umpire. And it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Clarinda on the board first. Here in the bottom of the first, and the 1-2 is blooped into right center. They will wave Baumgart around, and he's in standing up, and it's an RBI single for Justice Fine, and it's a 2-0 Clarinda advantage.
Justice Fine, one of those players that Justice Fine and Cole Baumgart, the one that scored and the one who got the hit, two players that didn't play against Red Oak the last time. So maybe they are a difference maker. Yeah,
Fine was dealing with a hand wrist injury earlier in the year, as that one is fouled away by Andrew Jones along the right field line and out of play. So far in this inning, Taden Brown was a put out, and then Levi Wise got hit by a pitch. That one is outside for a ball on Andrew Jones. And then Cole Baumgart got on what they rule an E6. Justice Fine then singled moments ago. Baumgart, by the way, scored on an error as well. 1 2 strike count to Andrew Jones with one gone in this inning. Bond taking his time with the 1-2 and got him looking. Down goes Jones. First strikeout of the night for Bond. Here's James McCall up to the plate. He's playing at third base tonight. He's been a very strong arm in the lineup for Clarinda so far this year.
Yeah, McCall went up against Lewis Central last night in that first game and only gave up 2 runs, and then Creighton Tuzio, the closer, gave up the rest of 3 that lost. But, I mean, impressive over that Lewis Central, the #1 team in the Hawkeye 10, and a very good team.
McCall fouls the first one off the Red Oak dugout. Counts at 0-1. That one kind of in. Had him swinging. Runner goes kind of late, and sliding underneath was Fine. The throw was a little late from Woods to Erickson. That helped Fine get to second. And now it's a runner at second, an 0-2 count with 2 gone. And that one is lined off of Erickson. Can't field it at short. They will send Fine in. It was lost by Calson center, and it's another run coming across for Clarinda. So James McCall drives in a run, and it is a 3-0 Cardinal edge right now as Caden Butt will come up to the plate.
This game looking like it's going to be much different from their one earlier this season, which was a very low-scoring game. Already 3 in the first.
Yeah, a couple of miscues for Red Oak have led to those, as Butt, the lefty, takes the first pitch up for a ball to bring it to a 1-0 count. So the 1-0 with 2 gone, the runner on first. That one is missing for a ball, and it's a 2-0 count. That, by the way, also scored as an error, so a couple errors for Erickson so far in this first inning. There's a 2-0 pitch coming from Butt, not before Bond checks the runner at first, and McCall, who didn't have much of a lead off of first. Now Butt will step back in to face the 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch up for a ball, and it's a 3-0 count.
The thing I like about Dawson Bond is the game revolves around him. He realizes that. He takes his time. He makes sure that the runners aren't going.
Pitch just misses or just gets in the zone for a strike. If you've ever watched him wrestle, kind of similar, very calculated with how he goes about things as he gets Butt chasing that one for a swinging strike to fill the count up at 3-2. So 3-2 with 2 gone and a runner on. For Clarinda, the payoff pitch got him chasing one upstairs. It's a swinging strike, but not before Clarinda gets 3 runs across on 1 hit. They strand 1 on base. 3-zip Cardinals. We go to the second of the KMA video stream.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Azria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Azria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Azria Health, Clarinda.
4, 5, 6 batters coming up for Red Oak. AJ Schmidt, Braden Woods, Adam Beyer will face Karsten Beckel. Here in the second inning, it is a 3-0 Clarinda advantage in this Hawkeye 10 Conference baseball battle. The KMA video stream. Trevor Mader, Tate and Amy with you here tonight. And Beckel's first pitch to Schmid kind of jammed him up a little bit. He fouls that back to the net. And it's an 0-1 count. A.J. Schmid this year has been an everyday starter for the Tigers. He faces the 0-1, and it's a slow roller. Beckel kind of slipped for a moment, makes the throw over to Jones. That one just died about 10 feet in front of the catcher, Wagner, and Beckel had to come off the hill to get it. Stumbled for a moment, didn't stop him from getting the 1-3 put out, and there's one away in this inning. Nice play by Karsten Beckel defensively.
Yeah, Beckel really lost his footing there and way to set it and make the throw and get the out.
So now Braden Woods hitting .288 on the year up to the plate. Woods does have a little bit of a tendency to strike out, 18 so far this season. He powers that one foul, and it'll get out of play behind the Clarinda dugout. Brings it to an 0-1 count. 4 batters up, 4 batters down for Red Oak so far, through an inning and a third. It's Woods. The righty faces the 0-1, and that one is popped up. Shallow outfield. McCall coming over from third and easily grabs it. There's 2 away.
This game from Beckel is looking, so far different from the one from Shan where he was throwing strike after strikeout, making him swing, getting him. He's letting his defense do the work for him, and they're coming in clutch here.
Here's Adam Beyer, the lefty, up to the plate. Hey, it all counts the same, right? As long as you get the outs. That one is outside for a ball. Brings it to a 1-0 count. That one is fouled. It had a nice kind of break to it, and Beyer fouls it off at the plate, and it's a 1-1 count.
That was a great sound of that, of the bat, but just over top of it to foul it backwards.
Here's the 1-1. Beyer pops that one up. Brown underneath it in short, and then it will drop. Brown backed off of it. Fine, I think, lost it in the sun, and it'll be a base runner on for Red Oak, their first of the night. Chance for Clarinda to get out of the inning, and Brown, he was underneath it, and I don't know if Fine from left waved him off, or if...
I'm wondering if the ball floated a little bit too far behind Tatum Brown, and he wasn't able to... He thought Justice Fine was right there underneath of it, which he wasn't, and they didn't want to run into each other, collide.
There's Brody Bond trying to keep the inning going, and he ground ball third. McCall on a hop throw across to Jones, and it doesn't hurt Red Oak as that ends the inning. So, or doesn't hurt Clarinda, I say, that ends the inning. Red Oak leaves 1 on base. They trail 3-0 on the KMA video stream.
Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products, including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Bottom of the second, and for Clarinda, it's the 8-9-1 hitters, Ronnie Weidman, Ryan Wagner, Taden Brown. Anybody gets on, and Levi Wise will join the fun as well. So the 8-9-1 for the Cardinals as they have a 3-0 lead in their back pocket at the moment. And Ronnie Weidman, the right-handed batter, steps up to the plate.
I feel like I talk about this every time I'm streaming these baseball games, but Ronnie Weidman gets hit by a lot of pitches and gets it on base.
Not the case there, as that one is lined into the glove of Bond at right, but it looked, off the bat, it sounded good. Now here's Ryan Wagner, a rising freshman coming into the lineup. He's been kind of a welcomed addition to this lineup in the 9-hole.
Yeah, he really came in when Leland Woodruff went out with an injury at catcher, and now he's kind of made his way into the catching position. I mean, he's started a couple games. He's starting tonight.
Hitting just 91 on the year so far and 22 at-bats. Looking to get out of that little slump. It's a 1-1 count to him right now. Softball going on behind the baseball field, or behind left field, I should say, and it looks like a 3-1 Red Oak advantage right now in the top of the third. Here's the 0-2 coming from Bond to Wagner. That was kind of in. He fouls it out of play. Count will remain at 0-2. So the 0-2 with one away. Ryan Wagner trying to turn it back to the top with a runner on base. Awaits the 0-2 pitch. Kind of in and up, and it's a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away.
Is it fair to say Dawson Bond is really working the insides and outsides in this game? I mean, utilizing both to his advantage.
And you'll see veteran pitchers do that. You know, what did he do? He had him working inside, and then what's he go with? The off speed outside, get him chasing, get him swinging, and it's a strikeout. Ryan Wagner goes down. There's 2 gone in this inning for Clarinda as Taden Brown comes up at the top of the order with 2 away, trying to extend this inning. First pitch from Bond is in there for a ball, and it's a 0-1 count. So the 0-1 with 2 away. Brown grounded out back in the first, and that one just missed outside, and it's a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away, and the 1-1 pitch. Kind of in, had him swinging. It's 1-2.
Yeah, Dawson Bond had, 10 strikeouts in his last game against this? I mean, he's definitely a good pitcher, and that's an understatement.
Here's the 1-2, and it is fouled away. That one again in on Brown. So Bond really stressing working inside right now. He's been able to jam him up quite a few times.
I wonder if we'll see an outside pitch here.
1-2, not quite outside, a little more over the middle. Although it misses high, and it's a ball. 2-2 the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone, and that one low and away for a ball. It's a 3-2. And Brown, after being down on the count 1-2, has had a good eye on the last couple pitches, and 1 pitch away from getting on with a walk. Here's the payoff pitch on the way from Bond, and it was in. It's a walk, and Taden Brown keeps the inning going. Levi Wise, who reached on a walk, but will reach on hit by pitch rather back in the first inning, will come up to the plate.
That was a really nice job by Taden Brown. When he went down 2 strikes in the count, he held off on those outside, those low, those high balls. He didn't swing and chase after them and got the walk.
Very veteran at-bat from a multi-year starter. It felt like, he gets down the count 0-2 and 1-2, and it didn't phase him at all. Now Wise down to the count 0-1. Chased that one outside. It got away from Woods. It'll allow Brown to move to second. Taden Brown's got speed. That's not a secret, I don't think, to Red Oak. They've seen it in track. They've seen it in football.
Yeah, if that pitch gets away from the catcher even a little bit, Tatum Brown's taken off, and it's going to be hard to get him.
So the 0-2 now on the way to Wise, and I don't think any coach loves two-out base running more than Rod Eberle. Kind of that old-school small ball approach of moving runners is the 0-2. Coming from Bond, Wise fouls that one on a laser along the right field line out of play.
Yeah, Coach Eberle definitely not afraid to send his base runners whenever. I mean, they're very aggressive on the bases.
So the 0-2, Wise trying to keep this inning going. Has a nice lead. Does Brown. That one kind of jammed him up. Couple hops to first. Nice play by Byer. Bond came to cover. The throw was behind him. It'll easily score Brown. And Wise will stay at first. Man, that tough play for Byer, all for naught because the throw was behind Bond. He made a nice snag on it. Bond came over to cover. That was really close to being a highlight play, but the throw behind Bond, it allows Wise to reach on the air. It also scores Brown. It's now a 4-0 Clarinda advantage.
Yeah, Levi Wise was showing some speed in the two-hole. It made the first baseman, he fumbled the ball a little bit, so he didn't have time to set his feet and make the throw. That's why it went behind him and allowed Tatum to get home and Levi to get on first.
So now here's Cole Baumgart up to the plate. He reached on air back in the first inning. He bloops one over the glove of the first baseman into right. They will wave Wise. He is trucking along. The relay throw will not get there because there is not a relay throw, and it's an RBI for Cole Baumgart. He drives in a run. He ends up at second when it's said and done, so an RBI double for him. And it's now a 5-0 Clarinda advantage.
Red Oak is they're right there, but some of the errors they've made thus far into the game they're too much. They've allowed 3 runs now on errors. Mm-hmm. That's way too much in a game like this with this competition in the Hawkeye 10. It's way too much.
Here's Justice Fine up to the plate. He takes a big hack at one. Foul tips it for an 0-1 count. Fine, by the way, had a hit back in the first inning. Had an RBI hit back in that first inning. So the 0-1, he chases that one, and it's an 0-2. Yeah, 3 Red Oak errors. Clarinda's managed just 2 hits. They've got 5 runs on the board. There's the 0-2 coming from Bond. A high hopper fielded at second by Roeder. The throw is there to Byer, and that's how the inning ends. But not before Clarinda adds to their lead. It's 5-0 after 2 on the KMA video stream.
Asria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Asria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Asria Health, Clarinda. Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
On to the third we go here in Clarinda. It's a 5-0 Clarinda lead. Red Oak will come up with their 8-9-1 hitters. Cale Hall, Brett Erickson, Chase Roeder. Eli gets on base. Landon Kaus will join the fun as the Tigers still working through the order for the first time. Karsten Beckel on the bump, going for his 3rd inning of work. He has been able to get 6 outs and 7 batters, all of which have either been ground outs or fly outs. So he's been trusting his defense. And aside from the error in left that could have ended the 2nd inning, aside from that, they've earned his trust up to this point. As Cale Hall, the left fielder, will come up to the plate for the Tigers.
Yeah, this Clarinda defense playing very strong. I mean, they're not making too many very stupid mistakes. That left field error, it was It was debatable. I mean, it was a very difficult.
It was kind of a weird play where Brown was underneath it, trekking it, and then wasn't, and Fine couldn't get to it, and it dropped.
It was just in the weirdest spot to where they both couldn't decide.
1-0, ground ball to short. The throw is there from Brown. It took a couple hops. Brown stepped into the throw to Jones, and there's one gone in this inning. So Brett Erickson, the 9-hitter, playing shortstop for the Tigers tonight. His dad, Mark, the head coach there in Red Oak, right-handed batter.
Erickson drove in a run with a huge hit in the last game against Clarinda.
And he pops one into right. Tracking that one is Weidman. And there's 2 away. 8 batters of the 9 have gone down. Chase Roeder will come up for the second time, facing Beckel. He was a ground out for the first out of this game. So the first pitch coming from Beckel to Roeder with 2 gone. Misses outside, and it's a ball to bring it to a 1-0 count. So the 1-0 on Chase Roeder. That is fouled back over our heads in the press box, and it'll bring a 1-1 count. The other night I was doing softball here and had one come into the press box. Top 5 scary moment in my life, no doubt.
Watching the JV game earlier, I think there was one that was coming and came pretty close.
1-1, Beckel puts one outside, had Roeder chase against a swinging strike to bring it to a 1-2 count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 gone. There's a high hopper to third. McCall charges it. The throw to Jones is not in time. They will say that Roeder ran it out. McCall fielded that nicely on the high hop. Didn't overrun it. Got to it. Just a tough play to make, going about as far as you can in the infield. Roeder able to show off the wheels, and he gets on with a 2-out hit. Landon Kaus, who was a ground out in the first inning, will come up to the plate. Left-handed batter for the Tigers. Fouls that one back to the net. Elsewhere in the Hawkeye 10 tonight, Shenandoah hosting Glenwood. TJ Young's got that one for you tonight in baseball action. Lewis Central's at Harlan. St. Albert's at Denison Schleswig, and Atlantic's at Kemper Catholic.
That Atlantic and Kemper Catholic game will be an interesting one to watch. I mean, Atlantic's been a off and on team this year, and
they've had some games where they looked really good. And then like last night, Glenwood outscores them 41-0 in 2 games. 0-2 now as that was fouled away by Kaus. Hawkeye 10 very topsy-turvy, I feel like, aside from Lewis Central on any given night. Here's the 0-2 with 2 away. Misses well outside. Not a bad place to put that one on an 0-2 with a runner that looks to be antsy at first in Chase Roeder.
That pitch there from Beckel, I mean, this is his first year on the mound, and that looked like something a veteran would make. I mean,
yeah.
Try to get him chasing on the outside.
1-2. It's a slow roller to second. Wise, easy play to Jones, and the inning ends with Red Oak stranding another runner on after their first hit of the game. We go to the bottom of the third, 5-0 Clarinda, the KMA video stream.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Azria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Azria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Azria Health, Clarinda.
On to the bottom of the third we go here in Clarinda, it's a 5-0 Clarinda lead over Red Oak, and Tate Namey, another solid inning from Carson Beckel on the mound for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's really allowing the ball to get put into play. His defense just making the plays and getting the outs. I mean, only two people on base this far into the game, and has he struck anyone out yet?
He is not. No, he is not at all. All 9 putouts have been via the ground out or the strikeout.
So the defense playing a very sound game. If Red Oak in this situation, if they clean it up a little bit, this is a very tight game though. Clarinda offensively, they're not hitting the ball great. They're hitting it in play.
And then forcing the defense to make plays. Red Oak's got 3 errors so far through the first 3 innings. Due up, by the way, for Clarinda this inning is their 5-6-7, Andrew Jones, James McCall, Caden Butt. Jones, the right-handed batter, takes that one inside part of the zone for a called strike.
I think Andrew Jones is, I'm not sure, but the last couple of games, he's been hitting the ball well. He started off the year kind of in a slump, and now he's been hitting two or three hits a game. It's really impressive to watch.
0-2 as he swung on and missed that one, and now the 0-2 pitch coming from Bond. He's struck out 3 tonight. Ground ball to second. Tough play can't be made by Roeder as he sacrificed himself for it. And Andrew Jones will get a single. Roeder, give him an A for effort on that, but just past the outstretched glove at second, and it's a leadoff knock for Andrew Jones.
That had to be, as a second baseman, that's such a tough play to make, and when you're so close and it just barely gets out of reach, that's got to be a tough one to watch go by.
Here's James McCall up to the plate. Takes the first pitch for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count. So runner on first for Clarinda here in the bottom of the third. The 1-0, McCall. Line drive into short. Erickson gets the throw for the double play. Jones was way too far off the base to be able to get back in time, and Erickson steps into the throw, and just like that, 2 gone and nobody on for Clarinda.
Jones thought that ball was going to the outfield, and made a nice play, got the double play there.
Now Caden Butt, who struck out to end the first, will come up to the plate. Showing bunt pulled back. It is outer part of the zone, called strike. Brings it to an 0-1 count. The 0-1, Jones, check swing, might have been in the zone anyway, so it's now an 0-2 count. And Bond now 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning unscathed. Will rocket the 0-2, just missed outside, and it's a 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 gone. The 1-2 pitch, Butt fouls it out of play. That's kind of in vehicle territory over there, I think.
Would not be surprised if that did hit one.
That's why you never park right behind the field. Here's the 1-2. I know I say that every time. That one misses up, and it's a 2-2 count. Although one thing I've learned, too, if you're covering a game in Clarinda, if you don't get here more than an hour and a half early, you don't have to worry about parking close because you're not going to find a spot.
Yeah, the parking here is...
Here's a 2-2 foul back.
Parking here is difficult to find. You got the JV, everyone shows out for the JV games, so you got to park quite a ways away.
The 2-2 coming to Butt. So he tries to keep this inning going, and he swings and misses his second strikeout of the night, 4th of the night for Bond on the bump. And it is a kind of unorthodox clean inning for Red Oak. We go to the 4th, 5-zip Clarinda on the KMA video stream.
Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products, including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
We are on to the fourth here in Clarinda. Trevor Mater, Tate and Amy with you here tonight. 5-0 advantage, Clarinda. As we go to the fourth, it's the heart of the order for Red Oak. Due up 3-4-5. Dawson Bond, A.J. Schmidt, Braden Woods. They face Karsten Beckel for the second time tonight. Beckel has gone 3 innings so far, giving up just the 1 hit. Red Oak also had 1 runner get on an error. That was back in the second inning, but they've stranded both runners so far. First pitch, Bond lays down a bunt. He'll try to run it out on the ground, and it rolls foul just in front of the third base bag. Heady play by McCall. As soon as he touches it, that ball's live. As soon as he touches it, you let it play out. Now, of course, there's a gamble there where if it doesn't go foul, but it did about, I don't even know, maybe 5 feet in front of the bag.
That was a very, very close. I mean, McCall, he really trusted that one. Kind of gambled, but, hey, it paid off.
So the 0-1, we'll see if Bond tries the old bunt for a hit method again, and he'll take that one inside for a ball, and it's a 1-1 count. So 1 ball, 1 strike. From Karsten Beckel to Dawson Bond, and the 1-1. He grounds one. Brown at short, tough throw. Bond runs it out. It was on a hop anyways to Jones. Bond will stay put at first. I'm going to give Bond the single. That wasn't going to get there anyway. A.J. Schmid comes up with Bond at first and nobody out. So leadoff single for Red Oak. Their previous innings when they got base runners on both came with 2 outs. So most promising start to a frame that the Tigers have had up to this point.
That was what we were talking about earlier. That was a very difficult throw for the shortstop Taden Brown to make. I mean,
you had McCall kind of at first trying to get it looked like from his third base spot.
It was right there in that one little spot that you just can't – there's not much you can do. I mean, it's probably going to get ran out.
So now here's Schmid who grounded out. Bond goes. The throw is off. It'll roll into center. Bond sliding, gets up all in one motion and ends up at third. So he'll get to second on the stolen base. Reaches to third on the error. And now Dawson Bond 90 feet away from putting Red Oak on the board.
That was good heads up baseball by Dawson Bond. He watched the ball go by, slid back up, and was able to run into third real smoothly. Yeah, it was like it was in one motion. That pitch is outside. I mean, he slid, and then without missing a beat, as soon as he saw it rolled into center, just popped right up, chugged along to third. Yeah, it looked really impressive. I mean, 10 out of 10 style. So the 2-0 on the way now to Schmid, and that one is fouled right back to the net. Brings it to a 2-1 count. Red Oak trying to get their first run into the night, and with Bond at third and nobody out there, in a good spot to do so. Here's the 2-1, showing bunt. Schmid pulled back, outer part of the zone, called strike, 2-2 the count. Schmid grounded out back in the first or in the second inning. Kind of lunges at one. It's into the glove of Jones at right. It was drifting foul. There's one gone. That might be one that Schmid wants back because he kind of chased that one out of the zone. Braden Woods up to the plate now. He flew out. F5 put out of the second inning for him. That last at-bat was a great one for Karsten Beckel. I mean, they're still only an out, so still good scoring position for Red Oak, but edges you a little bit closer to that. This would be the big one here. If you can find a way to get Braden Woods out, and then you're putting Red Oak in a situation where right now anything in the outfield, anything in play, Bond's going to have a chance to score on. But if you can find a way to get Woods out without scoring Bond, be a big one. Here's the 1-0, and Woods jammed on one, fouls it to bring it to a 1-1. The one thing I will say is with the way Bond has been running the bases in this this inning is if it is anywhere in play, I'm going to assume he's going to take off for home. And so
here's the 1-1. That one, nice breaking ball in there for a 1-2 count. The only hope, really, if something's in play in the infield is maybe it's like a liner to third that freezes Bond, but even then on the throw, he's probably going.
Yeah, and I mean, with the speed he's got, it's going to be difficult to get there.
1-2 misses low and in, and it's a 2-2 count to Braden Woods. Adam Beyer on deck for Red Oak. Again, defensively for Clarinda, Karsten Beckel. Pitching, Ryan Wagner's at first, or catching, Andrew Jones at first. Levi Wise is at second. And the 2-strike pitch is a hopper to short. Brown will try to get the throw and got him. Does send across a run, though. So an RBI for Braden Woods. Adam Beyer comes up, 2 gone, but Red Oak has their first run of the night on the sacrifice RBI from Woods. Adam Beyer now reached on the air back in the second inning. Will come up to the dish. Left-handed batter.
That kind of played out almost exactly as we were talking about. I mean, anything hit, Bond is getting in on the sacrifice RBI.
So the 1-0 count now is that one is a ball. Softball looks like Clarinda's put up 4 in the bottom of the third. They lead 5-3.
If I remember right, their last game was a really close one, and it came down to the last inning as well.
There's the 1-2 now, as that's a swinging strike. Yeah, Red Oak, you look at their record, and I mean, they've struggled in terms of wins, losses, but they played some teams tough. They almost got Clarinda. They almost got Glenwood earlier this year. The 1-1 is lined to first. Jones can't get it cleanly, and it'll put a runner on with 2 gone as Brody Bond comes up to the plate.
Well, isn't that the story of every team in the Hawkeye 10 this year?
Yeah.
Both.
Been a lot of interesting results.
Softball. The only team that stands out is Lewis Central's baseball team. I mean, softball, all of them are beating each other. Harlan, I mean, down there, but at the bottom, but with no wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, as the runner goes, the throw was a little off, and moving in safely to second is Beyer. Creston, having seen some of the teams in the Hawkeye 10, I feel like they're probably the best team, but then you look at some of the results. Atlantic got the best of them in 2 games. Clarinda's been very good. St. Albert, I think, is going to be a tough outcome postseason time. Here's the 1-0 on the way to Brody Bond. That one is in there for a strike to bring it to a 1-1 count.
I will say the big game for softball, in my opinion, is coming up this Thursday. Creston at Clarinda. It'll be a real big decider on who's going to be that Hawkeye 10 champion. I mean, Creston's in the lead right now, but if Clarinda gets that with the momentum they have, could be big into the end of the season.
And there's a ground ball fielded at second by Wise. The throw to Jones ends the inning, but not before Red Oak gets one across. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-1 Clarinda, the KMA video stream.
Azria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Azria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Azria Health, Clarinda. Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products, including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
8-9-1 coming up for Clarinda here in the 4th. It'll be Ronnie Weidman, Ryan Wagner, Taden Brown. Anybody gets on, Levi Wise will come up to the plate. 5-1 advantage Clarinda as we go to the bottom of the 4th of the KMA video stream. Online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mater, Tate and Amy with you here tonight. Clarinda put on 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Red Oak got 1 back just moments ago. Now Weidman, who was a flyout for the first out of the second inning, will come up to the plate. Right-handed batter takes the first one for a strike, and it's an 0-1.
Ronnie Weidman, one of his key things of being on this team is key points of being on this team is his on-base percentage. I mean, he's always getting on base. He's either walking, hitting, getting a hit, and that's one of the biggest things. I mean, you get runners on, that's how you score. That's
especially what you want from your 8-hitter, as the 0-2 is inside part of the zone. It's a called strike, and Weidman goes down on strikes. You know, your 8-9 hitters, I mean, yeah, if they can make contact and they can hit for a little power, that's obviously good. Like, you'll always take that. But, I mean, if you can just find a way to consistently get on base, that's a big thing to turn it back to the top with runners on. Here's Ryan Wagner, strikeout victim back in the second. Coming up, he takes the first pitch for a ball. Meanwhile, that strikeout by Bond is his 5th of the night. So, I mean, you look at the scoreboard, and, you know, he's in line for the loss, but, you know, 3 of those runs have been unearned on errors. That one is in there for a strike, and it's a 1-1 count.
Yeah, Dawson, he's allowing the ball to be put into play. There's really not much more you can ask from a pitcher. The defense has got to make a couple more plays in the first and second inning, and this would be a much tighter game, if not a 1-1 game.
Counts now at 2-1, and I take that back. Actually, of those runs, none of them have been earned for, you know, in terms of charging Bond with those. So 5 runs, but all of which have ended up being unearned runs. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one is in, and it hit him. So Wagner wears that one. He'll get on with 1 out. Clarinda will go back to the top of the order here in the 4th inning. Caden Brown is grounded out and walked tonight as he comes up. Cade Ingstrand will be the courtesy runner for Wagner. Wagner being the catcher. And allowed, entitled, whatever you want to say, to one of those.
Ingstrand, a player we usually see in the outfield, but with the returning Justice Fine, I mean, they're kind of cycling in and out together now, trying to get Justice back into the lineup, back into the swing of things.
First pitch is a ball to Caden Brown. So it's a 1-0 count. The 1-0 to Brown as Bond fired that one in there, just missed inside, and it's a 2-0 count. Clarinda leading this game 5-1 at the bottom of the 4th. Dawson Bond pitching for Red Oak. He tried to pick off the runner at first, but underneath the tag is Engstrand. Braden Woods catching. Adam Byer is at first. Chase Roeder at second. A.J. Schmidt at third. Brett Erickson at short. Outfield left to right. Cale Hall. Landed Counts. Brody Bond again. Another pick play. Unsuccessful. Now, if this was Major League Baseball, Bond on the next one, it would have to be an out, or otherwise Wagner would be awarded second base.
With those new interesting rules.
Which I'm a big fan of, by the way, is Brown tattoos one into left. That is back near the wall. It'll bounce off the wall, and they will hold Engstrand at first. He didn't get a good jump on it because it was so well hit and hung in the air for so long that he had to wait. But Brown gets a double, and it's runners on second and third for Levi Wise as he comes up to the plate.
Yeah, Brown hit that all the way back to the warning track. I mean, what a hit by him.
Yeah, somebody you don't think about with power necessarily. I mean, he does a good job of getting on base, and you know, if you were to pick one guy that you would trust on this lineup to run out a bunt into a hit, he would probably be your pick, I would think. But showed a little power there, driving that one into left. And now Wise going to try to find a way to at least get one in. He takes the first pitch for a strike, and it's an 0-1 count. The 0-1, Wise takes that one, and it's an 0-2. With one away. Bond trying to work out of this jam. Ryan Wagner got hit by a pitch. Taden Brown doubled moments ago. 0-2, Wise fouls it away. So the count remains at 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Got him chasing. Big punch out for Bond. His 6th of the ninth. And now 2 gone in this inning. Cole Baumgart, who had that RBI double back in the second, also has reached on error tonight. He'll come up to the plate.
That was a huge at-bat for Dawson Bond. I mean, getting him to 2 strikes and then getting him reaching for the second out of this inning with runners in scoring position.
How about this? They're going to intentionally walk Cole Baumgart
They understand.
to load the bases. I don't dislike that. I think that's probably...
They definitely understand the power and the hitting abilities that Cole Baumgart has. So, I mean...
And also, now you have a force at any plate, too. So
Yes.
anything in the infield is hopefully going to result in an out. So kind of risk versus reward there, right? I mean, as Justice Fine comes up, and he slow rolls one to short, Erickson will turn around, throw to Roeder, and the intentional walk works for Red Oak. Clarinda leaves the bases loaded. We'll go to the 5th, 5-1 Cardinals on the KMA video stream.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Azria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Azria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Azria Health, Clarinda.
On to the 5th here in Clarinda. 8-9 one-hitters coming up for Red Oak. It'll be Cale Hall, Brett Erickson, Chase Roeder. Anybody gets on, Landon Kaus will get up to the plate. 5-1 Clarinda leading. Karsten Beck will back out for his 5th inning of action. He so far has given up just the 3 hits and the 1 run up to this point for the Cardinals, and that run, an earned run, by the way, as well. So far, Beckel has thrown 44 pitches through the first 4 innings.
What an impressive pitcher Carson Beckel has turned out to be. He started the season as a closer, you know, kind of played in some of those games that were probably not as important to Clarinda, like Missouri Valley, and now he's worked his way.
Yeah, it was just kind of an inning eater, kind of.
Yeah, and now he's worked his way into starting against conference teams. I mean, Shan, Red Oak, and he's turning out to be a really good pitcher.
There's a ground ball to third, nicely gloved by McCall. The throw across to Jones is there, and Cale Hall goes down. Seems like every year Clarinda's got one dude that maybe you don't know a ton about coming into the year, that then by the end of the year is a bona fide pitcher. You know, I think back to Creighton Tuzio was kind of that guy for them last year. You know, James McCall the year before kind of grew into that role. There's the 9-hitter Brett Erickson. He pops one up right field. Tough play for Weidman underneath it, though. Ronnie Weidman had to cover a lot of ground to get to that one, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, that looked like a very difficult ball to track, and Weidman did a really good job of getting right underneath of it and making the play.
That's one that it might help him now, that not that was an easy play by any means, but that it's shaded. I mean, looking into the sun, that would not have been a fun one to track down, but for the most part, save for a couple of little blotches, the field completely shaded here in Clarinda. Here's the first pitch to the top of the order. Chase Roeder takes that one for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count.
Yeah, you kind of got a feel for Weidman and Jones, the right fielder and the first baseman. They're the only 2 you're seeing sun.
1-0 popped up. Weidman tracking it in right center, and he's under that one as well. And a clean frame for Karsten Beckel. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 5-1 Clarinda lead on the KMA video stream.
Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance Now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products, including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Bottom of the fifth we go, and Clarinda 5-1. Clarinda leading Red Oak here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. And it's the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for Clarinda. Andrew Jones, James McCall, and Caden Budd. Anybody gets on, Ronnie Weidman will get in on the action as well. Clarinda put on 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Since it haven't been able to get any across, Red Oak did get their 1 run on in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it's been a very fun game. These two pitchers really battling it out between Dawson Bond and Karsten Beckel. I mean, both pitching very nice games already in this game. Dawson Bond would have a lot closer score if it wasn't for some of the errors in those early innings, but Red Oaks really cleaned it up really nicely.
So Andrew Jones up to the plate, 3rd time tonight. He is struck out, ground out. Kind of swung at one in, and it's fouled away. 0-1 the count. Clarinda trying to get the bats back going. They've had 4 hits tonight to plate those 5 runs, as that is a swinging strike on Jones. Brings it to an 0-2 count.
Dawson Bond still working the inside and then really pitching a nice game tonight, too. Helps for those only 4 hits.
Now Woods will call time, come out, converse with his pitcher Bond. And get back behind the plate and get ready for the 0-2. Braden Woods catching, Adam Beyer at first, Chase Roeder at second, A.J. Schmidt at third, Brett Erickson at shortstop. That's your infield for Red Oak. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Jones goes down via the strikeout. Another strikeout for Bond, who has now sent 7 of them down that way. James McCall up to the plate, reached on air, and then lined out so far tonight. That error was in the first, the line out was in the 3rd. McCall, first pitch, takes it just outside for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count. So the 1-0. Coming to the righty, James McCall, check swing, and it's a strike. For a 1-1 offering coming up. So the 1-1 strike count. Popped up into right. Brody Bond in pursuit. Back. It'll drop over his head for a base hit. McCall trying to turn into a double, and he will do so. James McCall, a 1-out double.
That was a nice little power hit to hit right over the right fielder.
Yeah, Bond didn't have a good track on that one, and it'll drop for a double for McCall. And now Caden Butt, who has struck out twice tonight, will come up to the plate. Trying to find a way to the bare minimum, get on base with McCall. Now, ideally, either move him or score him. First pitch, Butt lays down a bunt, popped it up foul. And it's an 0-1 count. So Caden Butt, it looks like, at least in that first pitch, he's committed to moving McCall. If that means sacrificing the out, then they're okay with that. He pops out, lays it down nicely. Tough play. Bond can't get it off the glove. And Caden Butt put that about the best spot you could for a bunt that you're going to make the pitcher field.
Caden Butt in that 7th spot has been, this year, bunting probably the best on this team. I mean, he's laid down some really significant bunts to move runners or even get on base. He's really proven himself to be a guy who can lay down the bunt.
It's going to be a tough play for Bond to make, even if he did field it clean. They ruled out a single for Butt. Now here's Weidman up to the plate, takes the first pitch for a strike. Weidman a fly out and a strikeout tonight. Runners on the corners for Clarinda with one gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Quick moving game tonight. Weidman chased one outside. Runner goes. The throw was a little ahead. Then they send McCall. The throw back from from Roeder rather to Woods isn't there, and McCall ultimately scores. And when it's all said and done, Caden Butt ends up at third. So Butt stole second and gets to third as well. And now one gone, a run comes across, and it's 6-1.
That was, Chase Roeder, they did that thing where the second baseman catches it right behind the mound, and
there's a base hit, kind of hit off the edge of the bat by Weidman. He'll drive in a run as it died in right. And another run comes across for Clarinda, as you were saying.
Roeder did that thing on second where the catcher is throwing it down there and making it look like they're trying to get the third baseman to run. It didn't ultimately work as his throw back down to the catcher was off. So that's what allowed that run to come across.
7-1 advantage Clarinda now, and that is fouled by Ryan Wagner. So the Cardinals have put together 2 runs in this inning, working on 1 out, and they've got a runner on first right now in Ronnie Weidman. That one misses outside for a ball. That was ruled an error, E3, by the Red Oak defense. Here's the 1-1, pulled into left, foul by Wagner, and the count's at 1-2. And now if you're Bond, you're in damage control here. You just want to get out of this inning down 7-1 as the throws outside. Runner goes. They got him by a mile. Weidman tried to walk around the tag, could not.
Yeah, Dawson, they were in that tough situation with runners on first and third, and only the 1 out. It ended up not playing out the way they really, really wanted it to. Both runners eventually scored, but now Dawson Bond's just trying to get out of the inning, and that out at second really helps. Yeah,
nice throw from Woods to Roeder to get Weidman out, and now Ryan Wagner facing a full count. We'll try to keep this inning going. The 3-2 powered into left. Hall tracking, back of the track over his head. Wagner tries to turn into a double. They will hold him up at second. And Ryan Wagner will turn it back to the top of the order with the runner on.
How about that for the young 8th grader getting a power double into the left field?
So Cade Inkster on now courtesy run for him. Yeah, Wagner, who offensively has struggled at the plate this year, gets a nice double there to turn it back to the top of the order with Taden Brown up to the plate. 2 gone, 1 on for the Cardinals. First pitch, Brown takes that one for a ball. I don't want to jinx this, but a quick-moving game up to this point. Just a little over an hour so far.
Yeah, the Clarinda defense playing, not allowing that many hits, not allowing that many errors, not dragging the game on, and Red Oak also doing a pretty good job about making the plays when they're there, other than the few, 4 times that it's not happened. But it's been a pretty clean game, moving by pretty quick.
2-0 to Brown becomes a 3-0 as that one missed outside. And I imagine Taden Brown, 3-0, 2 out, unless it's something really tasty over the middle, probably going to have the take on this one, and nicely put by Bond. He needed that one to be a strike, and it was, and it's a 3-1.
Don't they call the 3-1 the hitter's count?
Yeah. Now, it'd probably see Brown be a little aggressive here, at least try to make contact. 3-1, Bond checks the runner. That missed well outside, so Brown takes. He gets on with a walk for the second time tonight. Of course, the counter to that is if it's well outside, you're not chasing, and it's runners on first and second for Clarinda with 2 gone. Levi Wise, who has reached on a walk and reached on air tonight, coming up to the plate. He chased one up and in for a swinging strike to bring it to an 0-1 count. The 0-1. 2 runners on, and Wise, a slow roller, tough play, made, not quite, by Roeder. He got it. He got it off the roll and kind of tumbled and held on to it, decided not to make the throw to Beyer. So Wise gets on. Brown ends up at third. Wagner scores. Man, I thought that was going to be a highlight play from Roeder, the way he extended and gloved it.
If he was able to get up and make that throw to first, it would have been one of the most impressive plays I've seen in high school baseball. But Clarinda, with their aggressive base running, takes advantage of that. They're sending everybody, allowing a runner to score, somebody to get on third.
And, of course, that'll be ruled a single. You didn't make a throw on it, so you can't call it an error. And that was a heck of a play just to glove it in the first place. It's a 1-0 count now to Cole Baumgart. Now it's a 1-1 as he takes the second pitch for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on the corners for Clarinda. Baumgart actually represents the game-ending run as he chased one outside. He got away from the catcher, Woods. They will send the runner, and in easily is Brown. And then Wise digs for third and gets there. And it's now a 9-1 Clarinda advantage.
This inning went from, they allowed 2 runs, and they had 2 outs. They were really Red Oak was really looking to get out of the inning, and it's really turned into a nice inning for Clarinda.
Baumgart grounds one to short. Erickson throws across to Beyer, and that's how the inning ends. But Clarinda ends up putting 4 across. We go to the 6th, 9-1 Clarinda, the KMA video stream.
Azria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Azria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Azria Health, Clarinda. Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
2-3-4 up for Red Oak in this inning. Landon Kaus, Dawson Bond, A.J. Schmid. See if the Tigers can counter the 4-run frame that Clarinda just put out in the bottom of the 5th to grow their lead to 9-1. Karsten Beckel, it looks like, will stay on the mound for the Cardinals. He has thrown 49 pitches, and of those 49 pitches, Tatum, we talked about this a little bit earlier, 35 of them have been strikes. So that's, you're talking, let's see, my Velisca math is telling me that is about 80%, I believe, somewhere in there. So, you'll take that.
His strike-to-ball ratio is amazing. This time, he's
71%. So my math obviously not very good there, as that one is inside.
This game compared to the Shenandoah game, which he started, he's allowing, maybe they're not these ones are more maybe into the strike zone to where Red Oak is able to hit the ball. The one against Shan, they were having to chase it and swing and miss.
Kaus sends one to right, Weidman underneath it, and that's the 3rd straight F9 put out. Dawson Bond comes up. He was an F9 put out back in the 1st. Also reached on a single, ultimately scored Red Oak's lone run of this game. So Bond, the righty, Takes that one for a strike.
That pitch, it looked like one that Bond really, really wanted, and I think it just like barely went a little bit too far outside to where he wanted it. Thought it might. Didn't want to have to chase after it.
And then that one is in, and Bond chases on it in, and it's an 0-2 count. Karsten Beckel yet to have a strikeout tonight.
I mean, he doesn't really need to when his defense is making the plays they are.
The 0-2 is fouled off by Bond to stay alive, and the count remains at 0-2. Yeah, so far tonight, just 3 hits for the Red Oak offense. They've been doomed by 5 errors in the field. Here's the 0-2. Bond grounds one to third. McCall steps into the throw on a hop, gets past Jones. Bond had to make a long round for second, and he will get there safely. Dawson Bond gets on base again. Now A.J. Schmidt up to the plate. Ground out, fly out for him tonight.
If he can get on base right now, if he can get a hit into the outfield, Dawson Bond has a good chance of going home. It would be very nice for Red Oak this far into the game. I mean, with the only 1 run they have.
Ground ball to third. McCall bobbled at the throw. This time is there to Jones. Bond goes. Jones returns the throw, but it's cut off by McCall as Brown came over from a shortstop position to cover the bag. And Dawson Bond moves to third, but there are 2 gone in this inning. Braden Woods, who is flown out, drove in the only run Red Oaks had of the night. Kind of a similar situation to where we are now. The only difference is there was 1 out when he did it, and he did it on a sacrifice. So got to find a way to get on base.
Can't sacrifice this one in.
No, not with 2 gone. It's the 0-1. On the way from Beckel, had him chasing, and it's a 0-2 count. And Beckel now 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning, stranding Bond to third. So the 0-2. Went 2 away. Got him swinging at 1 end. There's the first strikeout of the night for Beckel. And that ends the inning, and it ends the threat. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 9-1 Clarinda, the KMA video stream.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Azria Health Clarinda provides excellence at every level, delivering exceptional service to each individual. From our inviting welcome program to our individualized care plans, we're with you every step of the way. Our team considers every detail in making you feel at home, providing a high level of personal attention. The entire Azria Health Clarinda experience is designed to encourage social activity and maintain regimens that foster health and well-being. Compassionate care, personalized service, state-of-the-art programs. Azria Health, Clarinda.
On to the bottom of the 6th we go here in Clarinda. Trevor Mader, Tate and Amy with you here tonight. It's the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Clarinda. Justice Fine, Andrew Jones, James McCall, and Tatum with 2 runs here. Clarinda could get a, not necessarily a quick victory, but a shortened victory if they're able to find a way to get 2 across.
Yeah, this game is definitely different from the one we watched in Red Oak. Clarinda offensively way stronger, putting up the 9 runs that they have compared to the 1. And I mean, Red Oak only scored 3 in that first one, then only with 1 now. So they're kind of still in that lower range, but Clarinda really exploded offensively.
Yeah, so up to the plate for Clarinda's Justice Fine. A single ground out tonight. Takes the first pitch for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count. And the 1-0 chased outside. Check swing, say went, and it's a 1-1 count.
Dawson Bond is really good at getting Clarinda players to chase after that outside pitch. And I don't know if it's because he's throwing the inside before or it's just he's able to get them chasing often.
That one's the ball. 2-1 now the count. Fine. Pops one into right. Brody Bond tracking it and grabs it, and there is one gone in this inning. Andrew Jones, who was 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts to his name, coming up to the, check that, 1 for 3. He did get on a single, then was part of a double play in the third. Does have a couple strikeouts to his name tonight as well. Clarinda holding onto a 9-1 lead. That one is in. Again, the errors have been kind of the name of the game for Red Oak tonight. 5 of them, including the first 2 runs. I think 3 of the first 5 came on errors. Fine connects on one. Roeder can't quite make the play from his second base spot, and Justice Fine gets on with a 1-out, or Jones gets on with a 1-out single.
The errors, they really made a difference in that those first 2 innings. Red Oaks really cleaned it up, though. Kind of gotten their game back, but I mean, Clarinda still did put up 4 in the 5th, so really good offensive night for Clarinda.
McCall represents the game-ending run as Jones steals second. I think you're going to see Clarinda be very aggressive on the base pass right now, knowing that 2 runs ends this game. Jones steals second. So it's a 1-0 count to McCall. He fouls that one out of play along the first baseline. And the count's a 1-1.
Like you were talking earlier with the winning run being at the plate right now and Clarinda being aggressive on the bases, I think that no matter the situation, Clarinda's always aggressive on these bases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the way Coach Everly plays, and he knows he's got some speed on this team.
1-2, chasing was McCall. And it was a drop third strike, and I think McCall might have ran that out. He did. A little bit of hesitancy from Woods. I don't think he knew that since there's not a runner on first, McCall is allowed to run on a drop third strike.
He must have thought he caught it. I'm not sure what I wasn't watching the ball. It must have dropped and Wood didn't realize. I'm not.
And now that's big because you've got Jones, who was able to move to third on that sequence. McCall's at first. Still one gone, and McCall represents the game-ending run. So the 0-1 coming to Caden Butt. He takes that one for a ball, and it's a 1-1. The 1-1 strike now becomes a 2-1. So Clarinda, a pair of runs here could end this game a half inning early. That one is in there for a strike. If this does go to the 7th, it'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Adam Byer, Brody Bond, Cale Hall, up for Red Oak. 2-2 count to Caden Butt. Butt chased it one, fouled it off at the plate to stay alive. Clarinda softball has blown that game open now in the 5th. They're up 12-3, a 6-run 5th for the Cardinals. Here's the 2-2 to Butt, missed well outside. Good job by Woods to use all of that frame to glove it.
If that got behind Woods.
Yeah, they're sending Jones if that goes behind.
And the way that Woods was when he made that catch on his knees, I don't think he was getting back there in time nearly close enough.
And then a 3-2 walk loads the bases for Clarinda. So put Butt at first. McCall is at second. Jones is at third. The game-ending run is at second with Ronnie Weidman up to the plate. base hit might be the game ender here. Weidman takes one for a strike, and it's 0-1. So the 0-1 to Weidman. That one missed outside. Woods being very cognizant of the fact that he's got to maintain the ball because otherwise Clarinda might get aggressive on the base pass.
Yeah, with this big backdrop, anything gets behind Woods, it's Clarinda's sending him.
The 1-1 is fouled along the third base line to bring it to a 1-2. So Clarinda with a chance to end this game if they're able to score. James McCall from second. Here's the 1-2, fouled away. Weidman staying alive.
If Weidman gets a single into the outfield, with how aggressive this Clarinda base running is, I'd assume James would. If the play's going to be there, James is probably going to run into home.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, I would say probably. Definitely with only, you've got 1 out, so, I mean, it's not necessarily ending the inning. Here's the 1-2, Weidman goes down on strikes.
Big pitch, big at-bat there for Dawson Bond to keep this game alive.
2 away, and Ryan Wagner comes up to the plate. He had a double back in the 5th inning. Wagner sees the first pitch from Bond, takes it for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count. Clarinda tacked on 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the 5th. Trying to finish it here in the 6th. They need 2 runs to do so. Here's the 1-0 pitch, popped up. Runners will go because it's caught at third by Schmidt, and that's how the inning ends. So Red Oak stays alive. We will go to the 7th, 9-1 Clarinda on the KMA video stream.
Nordland Insurance Agency. Over 80 years of service to our area. Holly Stansberry and her husband Pete own Nordland Insurance now, an independent agency representing several companies, and they offer a full line of insurance products, including home, auto, commercial, farm, crop, life, and health. Nordland Insurance Agency, serving Southwest Iowa and Northwest Missouri. Visit us online at nordlandinsurance.com or call us at 712-542-5175. Nordland Insurance Agency, Clarinda.
Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
On to the 7th we go. Red Oak's going to need a big inning, down 9-1, and due up for the Tigers will be their 6, 7, 8 hitters, Adam Beyer, Brody Pond, and Cale Hall. Anybody gets on, Brett Erickson will come up to the plate as well. Karsten Beckel stays on the mound for Clarinda. He's gone the distance so far. Through 6 innings, Beckel has just struck out 1, allowed only 3 hits, 1 earned run. Hasn't walked any, so it's been efficient tonight. First pitch, Beyer takes a hefty hack at 1, swing and a miss, and it's an 0-1 count.
This makes you wonder how kind of Karsten Beckel will continue to play in this Clarinda bullpen. I mean,
adds the 0-1 as Beyer pops it into center. Back is Caden Budd, and he'll grab it, and there's 1 away.
Kind of adds another dangerous pitcher to this Clarinda bullpen that has 3 really good guys and then some other guys who can pitch a nice game.
You know, McCall and Tuzio have been that 1-2 punch, but I mean, man, if you got 3 pitchers that are going to give you nights like this, when you get into the postseason. And in the 1A, 2A level, that's hard to come by. I think that's as here's Brody Bond taking that one for a ball. I think that's why we consistently see Clarinda be in the mix, be in a district final, be in a sub-state final, because they usually, they never really have, it feels like, an ace, but it always feels like they've got 1, 2, sometimes 3 guys that are going to be tough on the bump every night.
They're able to pitch those good nights game after game, and I mean, pitchers can only have a certain amount of innings in a week. That allows them to pitch them or spread them out a little bit better. And
Clarinda softball a winner tonight, 13-3. So the Cardinals, who are trying to stay afloat in the race for a Hawkeye 10 conference title, of course, last night didn't help them, losing to Lewis Central, but still in the mix. That is popped up into center. Butt is tracking it, and there are 2 gone. This game now down to its final out. Cale Hall will try to extend this game. So Hall, who is grounded out twice tonight, will come up to the plate, trying to find a way to keep this game going. That one misses outside.
You have to think, if you're Red Oak after this game, they've got to get ready for district play now coming up, or the playoffs.
Swing and a miss to bring it to a 1-1.
They've got a couple more games before we're there, and they got to get their seeding up a little bit higher so where they're not facing off against that really good team in the beginning, because they could make a run if their seeding is there.
That is a strike to bring it to a 1-2 count. This game may be down to its final strike. We'll get postseason pairings either tomorrow or Thursday from the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way from Beckel to Hall. Beckel trying to end this game, and it's a ground line drive into center. Bobbled it for a moment, and a 2-out single for Hall keeps this game going. Just the 4th hit of the night for Red Oak offensively. Brett Erickson, who's 0 for 2 now with a couple of flyouts, comes up to the plate. So Beckel trying to finish it. He is a sophomore, going to be a junior next year. And he puts that one outside for a ball. So 1-0 count. This was a 3-1 Red Oak win back on May 31st. Clarinda trying to return the favor. The 1-0 kind of in on Erickson. He takes for a ball, and it's a 2-0 count. The 2-0 as Erickson hopes to turn it back to the top of the order. Beckel on the 2-0, missed outside. Wagner kept it in front of him, and it's a 3-0 count to Brett Erickson. The runner on. Red Oak trying to keep this game going with 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. .30 pitch from Beckel to Erickson is up and in, and it's a walk, and there's now runners on first and second. Top of the order for Red Oak, Chase Roeder, who is grounded out, singled, flown out so far tonight.
Aside from the 2 outs, this is the situation for Red Oak being at the top of their order now, and both of their 8-9 guys getting on base. This would be a pretty good situation if they're trying to crawl back into this one.
I want chasing outside. Yeah, you would have liked to have maybe not had – you'd like to maybe at least have 1 out, preferably 2 outs to play with, and also not chasing an 8-run deficit.
Yeah, the 8-run and 2 outs is kind of a –
high hopper to short. Brown charges it. The throw is there, and that's how this one ends. So Red Oak gets 2 on in the 7th, but that's it. And this one will go in the books as a 9-1 Clarinda victory tonight. Tate and Amy, your thoughts?
Red Oak Red Oak played a good game. They made too many defensive errors. They allowed too many runs early get to their heads. Those runs early, caused by errors, kind of determined the rest of this game. You know, Clarinda was able to tack on more runs, and Red Oak was able to not really get anything going just because of that little slump that they started in.
Yeah, 5 errors for Red Oak in total. I think 3 in the first 2 innings. Allowed Clarinda to put some runs on early. They got up 5-0. Dawson Bond struck out 7, but just a little too many things didn't go Red Oak's way tonight. Clarinda, to their credit, had some things go their way. That they had the timely hits. They were smart on the base pass when they needed to be. Driving in runs tonight for Clarinda, by the way. Cole Baumgart had an RBI just as fine. Ronnie Weidman, Taden Brown, Cole Baumgart, James McCall, Ryan Wagner all doubled in the win. Karsten Beckel goes the distance, allowing just 4 hits, 1 earned run, walked only 1, struck out 1. And the Cardinals continue their winning ways. They are now 12-6 on the year. Red Oak drops to 11-11. Full story from tonight's game will be available online later on at KMAland.com. Clarinda will be back in action in the days to come, as will Red Oak. We'll pull up that schedule for you as quickly as we can get bound to work, and Clarinda will be back at it. They've got a big one with Creston on Thursday. Interesting matchup there. An always tough Creston team at the Hawkeye 10. Red Oak gets Glenwood on Thursday night as well. Looking forward to both of those. Once again, your final tonight from Clarinda. 9-1, Clarinda the winner. You listen to high school baseball, the KMA video stream at KMAland.com. For Tate and Amy, I'm Trevor Mader with KMA Sports. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.